Yeah, girls. So let us continue. Now we are going to start with conditional probability. Okay. So conditional probability is first okay, before going back to the question. So let us see. I hope screen is visible properly. Yeah. So conditional probability, if we say, generally till now we were understanding what is probability. Like if you see there is if again, okay, I'll just take pack of cards only. Pack of cards. If I take for understanding, I want the probability of picking a king. Okay, girls. So when I'm picking a king, what is the probability of picking a king in a pack of cards?
4 by 50.
4 by 52. Now what I'm telling, conditional probability, that means there is a condition. Now whatever king which I picked a king, yes or no, that I'm not going to keep it back. I'm not, the king which I took it out, I'm just keeping it separately. Again, if I take pack of cards, again now, what is the conditional probability? I'm going to pick a queen. After the representation of conditional probability is like this. So now what is the probability of picking a queen where k is removed? One king what we picked earlier is been removed from this pack of cards. Now what happens, girls? Earlier there are 52 cards. I took one card outside.
4 by 48.
4 by 51.
51.
4 by 51.
Only one card you picked, not 4 kings. You didn't pick 4 kings. So only one card is being picked.
Okay.
So in that scenario, again, what I'm doing, this representation, though it is probability of queen, but what happened earlier, there was a king which was being picked and kept aside. So that is what this representation understands. So again, what I'm doing, I'm not going to keep q here. So what will I do? There is also one more thing. I'll just keep p of k. Again, I'll pick a king from these pack of cards where already two events occurred. We picked already queen. We also picked already king. So now in this scenario, what will be the probability, girls? Can you just tell me?
3 by 50.
One
3
king is
by
already gone. So
3 by
out of
50.
4 kings, one king is gone. So there are only 3 kings. And out of 52 cards, 2 cards are already gone. 2 cards are already gone. So it is 3 by 50. So this is how conditional probability is like. There is an impact on earlier event for the next event to occur. Like our earlier event, according to our current example, is picking a king. Picking a king is having an impact on picking a queen later, and again picking a second king is also having an impact because we picked already king and queen. So this is how we can understand what is.
Ma'am, the board is not clear, ma'am.
So this is how there is. This is how we can understand that there is an impact of conditional probability. Means earlier there is an event which occurred where it is making the change in occurrence of the later event. So that is what we try to call it to be as conditional probability. Is it clear? Any doubt in understanding conditional probability?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, now let us see a problem. So it will be more clear to you. So C38 problem. Okay, so a bag contains 5 white balls and 3 black balls. So let me just write it up. So a bag contains 5 white balls and 3 black balls. Okay, 2 balls are drawn at random, one after the other, without replacement. Find the probability that both balls drawn are black. Okay. So now this is what they gave us. So there are 5 white balls and 3 black balls. 2 balls are drawn at random without replacement. This is the condition given to us. So that is how it is conditional probability. So now first let us just take a total number of equally likely cases, girls, for our understanding.
8.
8.
So total number of equally likely cases are 8 balls. Okay. So picking a black ball. Okay, picking a black ball is our number of favorable case. So based on this, number of favorable cases is, can you tell me? Picking a black ball is our condition. So as per this, there are three black balls.
Three.
So now if I take P of B, obviously picking a black ball first. So there are two black balls which have been picked is what they mentioned. So let us take P of picking first black ball. B1 I mentioned as first black ball. So first black ball is, there are three black balls. Out of that, the total number of equally likely cases are 8. So now what is happening? I'll just see the representation. P of B2 after picking B1. And whatever ball we picked, we are not keeping it in the same bag. We are just keeping it away from that bag. So picking a second black ball is 2 out of 3.
7. 2 by 7.
2, and total balls are also decreased. It is 2 by 7. So now according to the question, what is the probability of picking two black balls, one after the other? So it is nothing but 2 by 7. Understood, girls? Is it clear for you all what is conditional probability? Again, I'll just share you the question. So if you see here, two balls are drawn at random, one after the other without replacement. The probability that both balls drawn are black is 2 by 7. So now see this 39th question. It is also an explanation for conditional probability. Once pay attention, what is it? Yeah. So now find the probability of drawing a queen, a king, and a knave. Knave is nothing but Jackie. So in that order from a pack of cards in 3 consecutive draws, the cards drawn are not being replaced. Same thing they are trying to say. So first, what is it? What did I tell you? Picking a queen. First, they pick the queen. So what is the probability of picking a queen from pack of cards, girls?
4 by 52.
4 by
4 by
52.
52, which we already know. Now, after picking queen, they are picking a king, is what they are trying to mention. So, already
4 by 51.
this is not
4
being
by
replaced.
51.
So, 4 by 51. And what is the probability of picking a Jackie? After
4 by
picking
50.
king
4 by
and
50.
queen, it
4
is
by
4 by
50.
52. So they asked us what is the, yeah, that's it. What is the probability of picking
50, ma'am.
I'm 50. 4 by
4 by
sorry,
50.
4 by 50. Understood? So this is how we will try to say what is the conditional probability. So I'm just checking whether we missed out anything or not. Yeah. Now we will try to understand Bayes' theorem. This is just to make you understand. In order to go to Bayes' theorem, conditional probability is very, very important. So Bayes' theorem, though the formula looks very complicated, it is nothing but a derived concept from conditional probability, where it is actually used in day-to-day business world. So the formula for Bayes' theorem, this is very, very important, compulsory question in exam. Compulsory, you will be expected, we can get a question in exam, so don't forget it. This is the formula. Okay. So first you just make a note. If you are making a running notes, just make a note of this. Okay, girls, now if you see Bayes theorem, okay, so Bayes theorem is nothing but there are, till now we are speaking now conditional probability, whatever we saw in our earlier examples, maximum up to 3 events, it was easy. Like we took the second example where king, queen and name 3 at a time. So till 3 events, it is fine that we can do it. What if it happens if there are n events, where our count is extending more and more? In such kind of scenario, how to apply conditional probability is nothing but using this particular term, Bayes theorem. So now if you see B is one common event for all, like let us take, there are some n events, A1, A2, A3 and so on. This is how we have till AN, or according to our terminology, it is AK. So till all these are some multiple events, and B is one common event which is intersecting through all these events. In such kind of scenario, we have this formula. A1 is an event which is occurring after the occurrence of probability of B. So this representation you already know. So this is exclusively for A1. So if it is A1, I just wanted to find out. So this is the formula, P of B by A1 divided into P of A1 divided by summation of, this is simple, girls, same thing. But as we want probability of A1, so number of favorable cases divided by total number of equally likely cases. This is the basic, our probability formula only. We are just mentioning. Now let us see if our formula changes into P of A2 by B. We want an event for B. So simple, the formula P of B by A2 divide into P of A2 divided by summation of, the denominator remains same because total number of equally likely cases always remains same. So this is the formula. Same thing if it is P of AN divided by B, here it modifies to be N, or the denominator will be again remaining the same. So using this formula, first, if see, the formula is very confusing, but when we actually work it out with a problem, it is quite easy. So, and you can expect, the steps are very little, and you can expect full marks. If it is a 12 marks question or a 16 marks question or 10 marks question, complete marks you will be gaining just if you write the formula and construct this particular process in solving the problem. So see the problem. So see the problem. Now girls, see this 40th problem. Yeah. So assume that a factory has 2 machines. Past records show that machine 1 produces 30% of the items of output and machine 2 produces 70% of the items of the output. Further, 5% of the items produced by machine 1 were defective and only 1% of items produced by machine 2 were defective. What is the probability that the defective item was produced by machine 1 or machine 2? So this is your question. So for your, I'll just keep the question as it is, and then first for your understanding, then I'll show you what I wrote it on the board. So we will just take 2 events. Okay, so item produced from machine 1, I'm naming it to be as A1 according to our Bayes theorem terminology. From machine 2, we will name it to be as A2. And they gave the probabilities. So they gave us the probability of producing from machine 1 and 2. So they mentioned in the question, if you see 2 machines, and machine 1 produces 30% of the items. So 30% is nothing but probability. We will write it in the terms of decimal, which is 0.3. And similarly, 70% of the item, we will also write it in the decimal, where always probability of this must be equal to 1 according to our understanding. There is also one more thing. After this, I'll share it. I'll show you the board. So what is the next thing? Further, 5% of the items produced by machine 1 were defected. And see, girls, now this is an interesting event. It is P of B by AI. So, and now I'll stop sharing it. So now if you see this one, so now if you see this particular condition, P of B is an item. Now there are certain products which have been manufactured in a factory. There are two machines which are producing it. Machine 1 is producing 30% of the items and machine 2 is producing 70% of the items. So in this scenario, what is happening? After production, they identified there are certain defective items which are also being produced from the same two machines. Out of the output, all items are not at the same mark. There are certain defective rate. So for machine 1, it is the defective rate
The
is
board
5.
is not visible, ma'am.
Maybe now. For machine 1, the defective rate is 5%, and machine 2, the defective rate is 1%. So see this, girls, B is an event which is occurring after the occurrence of A. Okay, did you understand the representation? Now is the board clear or still it is blurred?
Clear, ma'am. No, ma'am, it's not clear.
Now?
It is
Yeah, now it's fine.
Now it's fine, ma'am.
Okay, I closed the window. Let us see still if it is not working out. Okay, now if you see, I am trying to explain you, girls. This is generally in our question, whatever in the Bayes theorem question, they'll give this information. They'll give you what there are two events, A1 and A2, and probabilities of two events will be given. There is a third event which is common event, which always we try to represent it with B. B is an event which is occurring after A, and the probabilities we will try to mention this way. The probability of this is simple. If I write it here, P of B by A1. This is P of A1 and this is B by A1 is 0.05. This is P of A2 and this is P of B by A2. Understood? So this is how we are trying to represent it. Okay. Now after this we need to apply. Now we will be applying the Bayes theorem formula, girls. So now for this, so many messages and disturbance. We need to first write our formula. Yeah, there is one formula which I didn't mention to you all. According to conditional probability, if this is how we have P of A and B or P of A1B, according to A, N represents multiplication, no? If P of A1 is the first event, P of A1 into P of B by A1. So according to this particular formula, this is one simple, it is also a multiplication theorem. Earlier also we used to write it, no? P of, if those two events are independent, we used to write it as P of A and P of B. But here as it is conditional probability, P of A, B, when it is conditional probability, the same formula will be modified as this way. P of B by A. B by A represents A is an event, which B is an event which is occurring after the occurrence of A. So the same representation, if I show it, now if it is, now I'll keep the next column heading to be as P of A1 and B. So though the term is different, it is simple. A1, I'll show it as I because all the scenarios I'm showing it as I. So P of A1 and B is nothing but P of A1 into P of B by A1. Can you see it, girls?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Maybe I'm writing it small, so that is the reason I'm asking. So it is simple 0.3 into 0.05. So 3 5s are 15. So I think three decimals are there, 0, 1, 5. Understood? I just multiplied 1 and 2 columns according to our understanding. I mean 2 and 3 multiplied 2 into 3. Second column, this is first column, this is second column, this is third column. For fourth column, what are we doing? Fourth column is nothing but it is equal to 2 into 3. But I am showing it formula wise. Simple. I cannot say 4 is equal to 2 into 3 if I say it is not proper way of teaching. So I'm just showing you the formula representation also. In what way did I do? This is P of A1 and this is P of B by A1. P of A1 and B is the column which I'm going to find out where it gives you 0.015 after multiplying. Same way here it is P of A2 into P of B by A2. So where it is 0.7 into 0.01, it is 0.007. So the total value of this gives you P of B. Partially it is going to A1 and partially it is going to B1. This is how formula representation goes. So the total value is always equal to P of B. So it is 0.022. This is the probability of defective rate. Did you understand fourth column? Girls, I'm waiting for your response.
Yeah, ma'am.
Maybe it might be quite confusing.
Yeah.
But when you come to the solution, it will be more clear. Now, finally, we are going to find out. Now, I'll just modify the formula here. Your Bayes theorem formula comes into picture. What is the formula for Bayes theorem? Just now we learned is P of A1 by B is equal to P of A1 into P of B by A1. So that is what we did, which we represented with this, or you can directly show it that way, into summation of I is equal to 1 to K. So P of AI into P of B by AI, summation, the total value. So this denominator is nothing but it is equal to B. So do you agree, girls? All the values summation P of, there are only two events here. K is equal, I is 1 and I is only till 1 comma 2. Only two events are there. So I'm just adding it where the denominator value totally equally likely cases is always equal to P of B according to our Bayes theorem terminology. Now the final one which we are going to do is P of A1 by B, which is that particular event 0.015 divided by 0.022. So this is number of favorable case for A1 event, girls. This is number of favorable cases for A2 event. This is simple denominator which is totally equally likely cases. So that is how 0.007 divided by 0.022. So that is how we will be getting. This is P of AI by B. So if we substitute it, P of A1 by B, we are getting it to be as, can you do the fraction and tell me? (0.015) divided by 0.22.
6.81.
0.681.
0.681.
0.681. So next probability is P of A2 by B. So 0.007 divided by 0.022. So where it is equal to
0.318.
So girls, 0.681 is equal to 318. So girls, always make sure your final answer will be, girls, excuse me. Hello. Pick up. Rabia, meanwhile, take attendance, no?
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you please repeat how did we take P of AI, ma'am?
Yeah. Okay. Someone asked me some doubt. Please again ask me. I just forgot. So now
How
one
did we
point
get
before clarifying your doubt, one point I just want to take. This might be increasing, girls. They might be A1, A2, A3, A4, as many number of events it might be. This must be always must be equal to 1, as well as this also must be always approximately equal to 1. You can just check 0.681 plus 0.318 is approximately equal to 1. It will not be exactly 1. It will be 0.9 something. So make sure if these two are ones, then your answer is absolutely right. Simple, girls, Bayes theorem is only having 5 columns. 3 columns will be obviously given to you. 4th column is nothing but multiplication of 2nd and 3rd column. And 5th column, you need to do the total value, which is totally equally likely cases. Individually, you need to calculate the simple. When we see, that is what I'm trying to explain. When you see formula wise, it is quite difficult. But when you actually substitute those values in the in the table and properly show it, then it is quite easy. Yeah, please, now you can ask your doubt.
Ma'am, what does AI mean, ma'am? P of AI.
AI is nothing but, according to us, that's what I mentioned. According to our current example, there are 2 machines. So I is equal to either it might be 1 or it might be 2. So here I am representing 2 events at the same time. So I just mentioned it to be as I in all the cases of column headings. I just mentioned AI because I represents either it might be 1 or it might be 2.
So the 5th column is directly we have to divide it by individually, no, ma'am. A P of
Yes.
B, we have to divide
Numerator
it
will be the favorable case, denominator will be the equally likely cases.
Equally
The basic
likely,
probability
yes.
formula.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Any more doubts, girls? We will see few more problems on Bayes theorem because it is for sure question. So that there also I'll try to clearly mention this way. Clear? Can we proceed to the next question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Anyhow, there is only 5 minutes in this call, girls. For next question, we will again join back, take 5 minutes break, and then we'll join back. Okay? Thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah. Second question, a company uses a selling aptitude test in the section of salesman. Past experience has shown that only 70% of all persons applying for sales position achieved a classification satisfactory, whereas the remaining were classified as dissatisfactory. So 85% has scored a passing grade in the aptitude test. Only 25% was classified dissatisfactory has passed the test. So simple, girls, there is a selling aptitude test in a company, and what is their performance after training? That is one point we need to understand. And who passed the test after training? Satisfactory people, how many students has passed the test, and dissatisfactory students, how many of them passed the test is what we need to understand. So let me just clearly mention it to you. So first column, which is nothing but P of AI. I'm naming it now. I'm trying to represent it very clearly, girls. I'll stop sharing the question. If required, again we'll work. Okay, now if you see P of A1, so there are 2 things. There is an aptitude test. Satisfactory is there. So satisfactory, we will name it as P of A1, and dissatisfactory is also there. So this naming the events is very, very important, girls. What is that respective event? It must be very clearly mentioned. So which we are naming it to be as P of A2. Okay. So that is one thing. Sorry. is just naming them AI, A1 and A2. So second column is the representation of probability, which is P of AI. So the probabilities are given to us as, again, if we go back to the question, so it is given to us as 70% applying. Past experience has shown that only 70% of all persons applying for a sales position achieved a classification satisfactory in actual selling, and whereas remaining people were shown dissatisfactory. So simple, it is 70% means 0.7 is satisfactory, and the remaining, so total is always, what did I tell you? This is the universal rule. The total is 1. So remaining here represents 1 minus 0.7, which is 3, 0.30. So this is second column. Girls, I'm clearly mentioning them so that it will be clear to you. So now third column here it is P of.
Ma'am, isn't it written that 70% applying are dissatisfactory and remaining were satisfactory?
Yes, correct. Please change it. No, there is a correction. Dissatisfactory. It is not dissatisfactory. It is satisfactory. I edited just now in the document also. So 70% is satisfactory and 30% is dissatisfactory. I mean remaining. Just you modify that satisfactory and dissatisfactory as per the material. Okay. So now let us continue. So B here represents passing the test. Event B represents passing the test. So what are they telling? So out of the satisfactory 70%, if I go back to question again. So if you see this particular question, 85% has scored a passing grade in the aptitude test, and only 25% of those classified dissatisfactory has passed the test. So from this it is 85%, and from this it is 0.25%. So I mean 25%. So this is what they gave us. From this we need to find out what they are asking us to find out. What is the probability that a candidate would be satisfactory salesman given that he passed the aptitude test? So here itself satisfactory and passed the test is 85%. Dissatisfactory is 30%. Out of these dissatisfied performance of the salesman, how many of them pass the test is only 25% pass the test. So that is what the entire story of this. Now we will go to fourth column. I'm just, for your clear understanding, I'm just writing it at the bottom. So fourth column is nothing but P of AI. If you're getting confused, we'll just keep it as it is, girls. P of AI into P of B by AI. Okay. So according to us, multiplication of 2 into 3. Exclusively, I'm just writing it only for you to understand. So it is 0.7 into. So it is 0.7 into 0.85.
0.595.
0.595.
This is one thing. This is P of A1 and B. The formula for this is 0.595. If I elaborate it, the formula is here. Similarly, P of A2 and B.
0.025.
0.075.
0.075. So what did I tell you? The total of this is always equal to P of B. Yes or no? Did I mention that? Fourth column, the total is always equal to
Yeah, ma'am.
P of B, which is nothing but totally equally likely cases. Total equal likely cases, which is equal to 0.67. Number of favorable cases divided by total equally likely cases. So now here the fifth one is actually a base formula, P of AI by B. Why I represent AI? Here you can see P of A1 by B, which is simple, our basic base theorem formula, which is 0.595 divided by 0.67. So it is 0.888. Similarly, P of A2 by B, 0.075 divided by 0.67, which gives you
0.111.
0.111. So approximately it must also be equal to 1. Understood, girls? There are 3 totals you will be representing. First, for your probabilities, your second column will have a total 1. Your fifth column will also have a total 1. Your fourth column total is always equal to P of B. Am I clear? Am I clear,
Yeah.
girls? Any doubt? So what they're asking finally, if we go back to this question, finally, if we again share, if I show you the question, what they finally are asking is, what is the probability that the candidate would be satisfactory salesman given that he passed the aptitude test? So satisfactory salesman and passed the aptitude test, the probability is 0.888. The answer for that question is 0.888 is the probability that the salesman is satisfactory as well as he passed the aptitude test. Understood? Any doubt? Or can we proceed to the next question? Can we proceed to the next question, girls?
Yeah,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Now see the next question. Keep reading the 42nd question. So now they directly mention here, a manufacturing firm produces units of product in 4 plants. Event is represented as AI. AI is nothing but a unit is produced in the plant I, which is ranging from 1 to 4. And event B, a unit which is defective, which is produced from those plants. From the past records of the proportions of the defectives produced at each plant, the following conditional probabilities are given. So they gave us, the first plant produces 30%, second plant, so simple, AI first column, so A1, A2, A3 and A4. So the probabilities of P of AI is given to us as, first plant is producing 30%, second plant is producing 25%, third plant is producing 40%, and fourth plant is producing 5%, where the total second column, now immediately you can total it and find out to be as 1. P of B by AI is given to us. So P of 0.05, 0.10, 0.15 and 0.02. So now we need to find out P of AI into P of B by AI. So see this, girls, this is given to us. Always, every time the first 3 columns will be given to us. Only third, fourth and fifth columns we need to find out. So fourth column is nothing but multiplication of these 2 columns, yes or no? So 0.015, one thing, and 0.025 and 0.16, 06 and 0.001. So the total of this, which is nothing but P of B, can anyone do total and tell me? 0.015 plus 0.25 plus 0.06 plus 0.001.
0.101.
0.101. Now our fourth column is P of AI by B. So that is P of A1 by B, which is equal to P of A1 by B, which is equal to 0.015 divided by 0.101. So the value is
0.148.
okay, 0.148. Similarly, for the next one, 0.025 divided by 0.101. So it is 0.247.
0.247.
06 divided by 0.101. So 0.594, 0.001 divided by 0.101. So it is 0.009.
9.
Okay, so this is how, and you can see it must also approximately be equal to 1. So now did they ask anything? They just asked us to find out this, or anything did they mention? Let us see. So in this, what is the probability that the unit was produced in plant 3? So simple, go to the column. Plant 3 is nothing but A3. The probability that the product is produced, defective product produced from plant 3 is nothing but 0.594. So this will be your answer. So first, whatever it might be, girls, you need to construct this complete table and see the question, what they are asking, and finally write it using that information. Finally write the output. The 0.594 is the probability that the product, defective product, is produced from plant 3. Understood? Is Bayes theorem easy or difficult? Understood or not, girls?
Understood, ma'am.
Understood, ma'am.
Easy or difficult? You are not answering my questions.
Easy, ma'am.
It's easy.
Yeah. So beyond this, there won't be any complexity in the question. They will be very direct, like this. Yeah, mathematical expectation, this one question, this topic is there. It is not so important, just ignore it. If time permits, I'll explain you. As of now, just, or okay, let us see. So mathematical expectation is nothing but, as we have time for this class, let us see. It is not so important, girls, just try to understand that's it. It is probability into that respective value. So if you see that first question, the probability of a man fishing at a particular place will catch 1, 2, 3, 4 fish are 0.4, 0.3, 0.2 and 0.1 respectively. What is the expected number of fish caught? So probability for catching one fish is 0.4, 2 fishes are, it is 0.3, 3 fishes it is 0.2, and 4 fishes it is 0.1. So 4 fishes it is 0.1. So mathematical expectation is, this is n value and this is probability value. So mathematical expectation is simple multiplication. 1 into 4, 0.4 is 0.4, 0.6 and 3 2s are. So the total, how much? So 2 fish. What did they ask? If you see in the question, the total value is 0.6. Again, if we go back to the question, what did they ask in the question? They asked, what is the expected number of fish caught? The 2 fish is the expected number of fish caught. That's it. Quite simple, but not so important in your exam point of view question. Okay, girls, just ignore it. So for your understanding, I just mentioned it. So as of now, we'll conclude this. So with this topic, we complete our